everybody. Woo! Hello, thank you so much to Sophie Wellington, new to us today in our New Year, New Friends week here in the Daily Antidote song, and super excited to be hosting her. Thanks for bringing us in with all that beautiful music. Let's say hello to everybody here, and we'll get started with our singing project. Hello and Happy New Year, Happy 2025 to everyone. I know there's a lot of complexity in the world every day, and we read the news, which we probably shouldn't do, and we have all kinds of ways that we're trying to cope. And here's way number one. Come on in every day, sing with us, join us for the coping and the singing and the lightning and the thinking that we do in here every day. So hello to everybody out there on the live streams. That's everybody on Facebook and everybody on YouTube. Thanks so much for being with us today. Today is day 1,738 consecutive days of singing here in the Daily Antidote of Song, and we are glad you chose to join us on this particular day. So I'm going to say hello to everybody in this room. I see hello, of course, to Sophie Wellington. Nice to see you today, Sophie. Thanks for being with us, coming in from Boston, Mass. We're excited to sing with you. Sophie's new to us, as I mentioned. A hello and a shout out to Anna in Boston and to Ariana in Los Angeles, both running tech for us today. I'm Jo Rossi. I'm the director of Daily Antidote, and I am so glad to see you all. Hi to Aloysius in Massachusetts, Deborah in Kentucky, Peter Amidon, one of our regular singer, song leaders, and hosts here in the Daily Antidote of Song, coming in from Brattleboro. Glad to see you. Hi to Simke. Nice to have you with us today. Annette in California. Susan in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nan in Michigan. Pauline in Newcastle, UK. Bob in Albany, New York. Ellie also coming in from UK. Doug coming in from Vermont. Nice to see your face today, Doug. Kathleen in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Arlene in Berkeley, California. Caroline in DC. Laris coming in from the UK, reminding all of us to give a little bit of love. Thank you, Laris. Diane in Massachusetts, Gary in Massachusetts, Hoda coming in from British Columbia, Clive in Birmingham, UK, and Ruth in Birmingham, UK. You guys are right next to each other. Sarah in Santa Cruz, California. Nice to see you today. And Deli in Maryland, Anne also in Maryland, Sarah in Texas, Neil in Boston, Nancy in Washington State, Julie in Ontario, Canada, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Louise coming in from Devon, UK, Kay in Texas, Jenny in Suffolk, UK, Elizabeth in California, Sue in Seattle, Jane in Maryland, Carol in Connecticut, and Kat in Vermont. Everybody, let's take a deep breath. Yeah, it's a great day. So we kind of opened our New Year, New Friends celebrations on the 5th with a new song leader. And yesterday we opened our first official New Year, New Friends week with a new song leader, and we're continuing on today with Sophie Wellington. She is a musician and a dancer in Boston, Massachusetts, and it's her first time in this room. So let's all give a huge welcome to Sophie Wellington. Hi, Sophie. We are so glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So I think you've got two songs for us today. Do you want to get started with the first one?
Sure, yeah. I'm going to sing Noah in the Ark that I learned from Bruce Greene. It's a traditional ballad that I've harmonized, so here we go. Well, God told Noah to build him an ark out of gopher wood, out of gopher bark. Well, Noah began to saw and Noah began to hew. People began to wonder what Noah's gonna do. Said it's a gonna rain. It's a gonna rain, 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 my little children. It's a gonna rain. That's the chorus. We can try it again. Said it's a gonna rain. It's a gonna rain, 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 my little children. It's a gonna rain. Old Noah comes out with a Bible in his hand, preaching to the people in a sinful land. They shook their heads and they laughed him to scorn. Said, I tell you, children, it's a coming of a storm. Said it's a gonna rain. It's a gonna rain, 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 my little children. It's a gonna rain. They knocked at the window and they knocked at the door. are saying, Brother Noah, can't you take in some more? Noah looked out, said, I'm sorry, friend, but God's got the key, and you can't get in. Said, it's a gonna rain. It's a gonna rain, 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 my little children. It's a gonna rain. How long did it rain? Can anyone tell? 40 days and 40 nights, and the water still fell. He opened up a window and he sent out a dove. Oh Lord, he bought the water, kept it coming from above. Said it's a gonna rain. It's a gonna rain, 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 my little children. It's a gonna rain. God said, look here, Noah, I'll tell you where to stop. I want you to land on that mountain top. Then God gave Noah the rainbow sign. He said, no more water, but the fire next time. Said, it's a gonna rain. It's a gonna rain, 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 my little children. It's a gonna rain. It's a gonna rain, 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 my little children. It's a gonna rain. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sophie.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, so that was a really fun song to sing, and we have not ever had that one in this space before, so wondering if you can tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. I don't know much about the song itself. I know that it's a ballad. I learned it from the singing of Bruce Greene, who's a phenomenal traditional singer and song collector, along with fiddle and banjo playing in the old time music tradition. And he's done a lot of work preserving old time music from Kentucky and now lives in North Carolina. But he has some really choice ballads. Yeah, so I learned it from a record of his. It's called River in Time. And I love the way the record is set up because it's a song and a tune and a song and a tune and a song and a tune. And it's really beautiful to hear traditional music juxtaposed like that, where you can hear the similarities in those different folk music traditions of ballad singing, unaccompanied ballad singing, and unaccompanied fiddle, and there's a lot of also crossover there that I feel like I'm very interested in tunes that are adapted from songs and songs that are adapted from tunes. So I'm happy to share that with you all.
Great, thank you, Sophie.
I'm shocked that over the thousands and thousands of days that no one's done that one.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny actually when you start like so we have a list, a database where all of the songs we've ever sung is listed, and it's there've been some repeats. Of course, there are some favorites and people bring, but what's amazing is there's 1,738 days worth of singing, and yet so many songs we haven't actually sung yet. So I guess there are more songs than days is the basic philosophy of being in the universe. Sophie, so you're new to me, and I think maybe new to at least some of the folks in the room. Can you tell us a little bit about your musical journey?
Sure. Well, I grew up in Stanton, Virginia. My parents are Bill Wellington and Lynn Mackey. Bill Wellington is a contra dance caller and an old-time musician, and my mom is a concert pianist, and she plays Irish fiddle and English country dance music. And I grew up going to dance camps at CDSS with a few familiar faces here in the chat too. It's nice to see you all. And so I grew up contra dancing, square dancing, and surrounded by old time music. But I spent a lot of my formative years in a children's choir, um, and uh, then I like followed suit and got pretty into the Beatles in high school, and that's kind of I like went through the Beatles anthology book, and that's how I learned guitar. Is I like just went through every song in that book, which I've learned is not a unique experience to me, but I really valued um, making those connections through guitar. And then in in late high school and early college, I started playing more fiddle music. My instrument in like school bands was alto saxophone, and I was really passionate about that. But I found it difficult to, I mean, not impossible, but consistently difficult to win over the hearts of acoustic musicians and old time jams wanting, I, you know, you can blow them out of the water in the wrong way. And so I found my way to a different axe and played fiddle. Um, and then I transferred to study at Berklee College of Music. And so at Berklee, I studied jazz singing and theory. And I also studied fiddle under Bruce Molsky and Daryl Anger and other visiting artists. The Roots program that Matt Glazer has cultivated there is really special. And there's lots of different ways to interact with music, traditional music, through that. So I was really grateful to have that kind of connection to my home and my heart music at Berklee, which is a place where everyone is studying things all under the sun, playing so many different instruments. And I didn't realize how homesick I was until I really got involved with that. And since graduating in 2022, I've been touring pretty regularly. Definitely an uptick in this past year. The furthest west I went was I went to Seattle, and then the furthest east was I was in Spain, and I was actually in the UK in November on tour with Evie Layden, who's a dream to work with and just know. And we had one person come to our show in Newcastle at the Cumberland Arms who found out about it through this song series, which I was really delighted to meet someone in person. And I'd never, this is my first time attending one of these, so I'm really excited to connect with your community. But yeah, it's been kind of a wild ride. I play in kind of a folk rock like band. It's like very much folk music, but it's with a singer named Willie Carlisle, who is also a songwriter and plays a bunch of instruments and lots of Missouri style old time music, which I'm really interested in. Something different for me. But oh, and I also am a percussive dancer. I'm a flat footer, and it's been really fun to kind of bring that into my touring and use it as more of as a musical element in different settings. So I'm that's what I do. But right now I'm taking a break. It's great.
So thank you. That is really amazing to learn all of that, and to
Yeah.
get to know you, and also, of course, to always get to find our sort of interconnections in the world. So Evie sings with us all the time, and actually, I'm realizing I don't think we've had Willie Carlisle, and so thank you for shouting that name out.
Oh yeah,
And
he's so special.
yeah, amazing. I think I think he's on the list of folks we're contacting for the New Year New Friends month. So hopefully we can actually have him roll through soon. And also, I think we were talking ahead of time about the ways in which we might get to know you beyond what you're doing musically. Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I think what JoJo is referencing right now is I'm you're all a group of singers, so this may resonate. I am having surgery in 2 weeks to remove a vocal polyp on one of my vocal folds. So if you've never been scoped or aren't familiar, they move like this. They're little, like they're very cute. They're also very small. They're like this big, teeny weeny little things. But when they project them and you get scoped, they look like a giant thing on a TV, and it's terrifying. So they say I've probably had it for 10 years or more, and I've worked around it a lot. But over this past year of extensive touring, it's gotten a lot bigger. And so I'm having that removed as opposed to going on 3 to 5 months of vocal rest, which is no speaking, no singing, no coughing, no whispering. And it's great to have access to such wonderful medical support in Boston. They have the Mass General Voice Center, which some might be familiar with. Julie Andrews receiving care there, and other famous people going there from all over the world. So, in addition to feeling very confident and grateful and fortunate for my care team there, I'm participating in a voluntary research study right now where I'm like hooked up to a wire, and I have a sensor that's taped here. And it's for a week at a time throughout my care. So a week prior to when I start my vocal rest, which is on January 17th, the day after my birthday, I have to go on vocal rest for 3 weeks. And then after the vocal rest is done and the surgery is completed, I'll have another week of this vocal voice monitoring. And then after receiving vocal therapy, they do it again. And then after 6 months have passed, they do it again. And it's basically monitoring the vibrations and how much I'm using my voice, how loud I'm using my voice, and what the kind of vocal quality is. So every morning I'm like, this is a Zoom recorder that I have to calibrate to this is like so that it's a certain distance from my mouth, and that is kept the same every day. And I just read a really weird paragraph that's completely nonsensical. It's the same thing every day just to calibrate it. And then throughout the day, I have I have on this phone, it tells me how long I've been recording and how much I've used my voice in that time period. So if I were to say, like, the cat is black, it would only record the phonated vowels. It doesn't record all of that time. It's just the part where you're actually phonating. Yeah. That might be like way more information than you need, but it's kind of fun to be a little guinea pig, and I'm happy to participate in something that might help other people. So, and I get paid, so that's cool too.
That's amazing. Okay. And like, it's not more than we want to know, because like, that's one of the fascinating things about, being in this space and being able to be sort of inside of your living room with you is like, we
Yeah.
get to know these things. It's like always a learning experience about like sort of the more human aspects of some of what we do. Right. So, that's part
Yeah.
of your singing world right now. And it's
Yeah.
fascinating. I didn't ask you this, and maybe you don't want to answer it, but do you think there will be any change to your vocal, like to the sound, like audibly to other people? Will you sound different, do you think?
Probably a little bit, but I also think that um, what I'll gain is more range and stamina, and uh, more. I think it's a net positive in a lot of ways. Like, even if the quality of my voice is different, I can understand and accept that, like, I'll probably be able to sing, you know, until it's the whatever 15,000th meeting of your group, and maybe the 30th if I'm really lucky. But
That
yeah, I think that it's just it's good to be healthy.
great.
It's like, oh, I really liked that mole, but it's really unhealthy for me, so maybe we should take it off. And I miss it, but I don't want to, I don't want it.
That's
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Sophie. That's really great. So folks, you just all heard it here. Sophie just signed herself up for our day 15,000 and day 30,000. So we'll be back to you on both of those. I'm not great at math, but somehow I think that must be 10 years out at least.
I
So
bet somebody in here already did those calculations.
I bet you're right. So I think you have brought a second song for us that we would love to sing. Is there anything else you want to tell us before we do about what you've got coming up musically or out in the world where people can find you?
Sure. Yeah, well, this week, I'm going to New York City tomorrow. I'm playing a few showcases as a part of APAP, which is a conference that's happening this week, a music conference. And I'm doing that alongside Ken Waldman, who some of you might be familiar with. And I'm really excited to be a part of that. And so if you engage with me on social media or, reach out through my contact form on my website, I'm happy to give you details if you wanted to come to one of those shows. They're in Manhattan. And I think that Friday is, the thing with conferences is sometimes there are things that are open to the public and some things aren't. But I know that Thursday is open to the public. So Thursdays, I think it's at a place called Don't Tell Mama. But again, I don't necessarily want to give out wrong information right now. And then I'm going to be excited. I'm excited to be attending the Ole Old Time Festival in Olympia, Washington in February. So those are some fun things I've got coming up. And I would love to meet you in real life, all of you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sophie. So, we've got folks in New York, we've got folks in Washington. I hope you can find Sophie. And I hear that some of you Newcastleites, or actually UKites, because I think there were some non-Newcastle folks who are also at the EV concert. Folks came, I think, from Birmingham as well. And yeah. So thank you so much, Sophie. This has been really great. We've got all your links in the chat for finding you, and love to know what you've got up for us next.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been really special to be a part of this. And I just wanted to share a song I really love by Norman Blake, which is called Slow Train Through Georgia. I really love his songwriting. So, yeah, I'll just let it speak for itself, but I'll teach you the chorus. So it's hardships and troubles, Lord, you know I have some. Getting older every day, I'm a fair weather bum. Let me tell you, good people here, it's just about time to catch a slow train through Georgia and ease my worried mind. There you go. Shouldn't have let him move me one come sunshine, rain, or drought. Just like the circle says, Southern serves the South. Hardships and troubles, Lord, you know I have some. Getting older every day, I'm a fair weather bum. Let me tell you, good people here, it's just about time to catch a slow train through Georgia and ease my worried mind. 40 miles an hour, she's a-rolling down the line. Greasy rail and red clack trail through the long leaf pine. Any place that the sunshine falls is where I long to be. The sunshine southern special rolled me down to the sea. Hardships and troubles, troubles. Lord, you know I have some. Getting older every day, I'm a fair weather bum. Let me tell you, good people here, it's just about time to catch a slow train through Georgia and ease my worried mind. Lord, I wish I was living day by day someplace down the track. Come on, gal, my old pal, Lord, you know we won't look back. I'll take this old guitar and I'll play her every day and let the slow train through Georgia roll my blues away. Oh, hardships and troubles, Lord, you know I have some. Getting older every day, I'm a fair weather bum. Let me tell you, good people here, it's just about time to take a slow train through Georgia and ease my worried mind. Let me tell you, good people here, it's just about time to catch a slow train through Georgia and ease my worried mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thanks.
That was much fun to sing with you. Thank you so much. Great session today. Great time spent with you. And everybody, can we please give it up for Sophie Wellington, our newest new friend.
Thank you.
Sophie,
So nice to see all your faces. Thanks.
Thank you. Hope we can have you back again sometime, long after your recouping time. And thanks again for all that great sharing. And
Sure.
Happy New Year, happy 2025 to you. And let's sing our way through it, no matter how challenging it's going to be. We're going to be here doing this. So thanks again, Sophie. Everybody, one more time for Sophie.
Thank you.
Sophie, hope to see you soon. Thanks so much. All right, everybody, can you please help me wave Sophie out of the room? And thanks again, Sophie, and help me wave everybody on the live stream out. Thanks to all of you folks over there on YouTube and all of you folks on Facebook. We're glad you joined us today. And please join us tomorrow. We've got lots of fun stuff coming up for New Year, New Friends week. And I'm going to give you a little quick upcoming here. So today, of course, we had Sophie Wellington. If you missed Rodolfo Dodo Martins yesterday, he came in from Brazil and was really super special. You might want to go back to YouTube and check that out. We've got Paul Reisler tomorrow of Tin Pan Alley. Miles Spicer, who I believe is in the room with us today. Miles, we can't wait to sing with you tomorrow. David Sands of the DC Labor Chorus. Sue Ribaudo, she'll be hosted by Elise Witt. And Mo Nelson, who we are counting as a new person, because he did, in fact, sing with us once before, and the sound was so messed up, we didn't get to hear him. So we're counting him as a brand new person. So join us for Mo on Sunday. Thanks for everybody being here today. Let's say goodbye to Deborah in Kentucky, Peter Amadon, sending lots of love to you over there in Brattleboro, Vermont. Simkey, great to have you with us today. Annette in California, Neil in Boston, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Susan in Cincinnati, Sarah in Santa Cruz, California, Bob in Albany, Clive coming in from Birmingham, UK, Sue in Seattle, Ellie coming in from the UK, Doug in Vermont, Athena in Brooklyn, New York, also reminding me, thank you, Athena, that is day 1,738 amazing days of singing here in this space. Kathleen in Albuquerque, Miles Spicer, there he is. Everybody give a little hello to Miles, because we're going to have Miles again in just a few days. Cricket in Maryland, Arlene in Berkeley, California, Caroline in DC, Laris in the UK, Ruth in Birmingham, UK, Pauline in Newcastle, UK, that's a lot of UKs in a row, Gary in Massachusetts, Linda coming in from San Rafael, California. Let's see, Busy Graham, Carpe Diem Arts. Everybody give it up for Busy Graham, Executive Director of Carpe Diem Arts. And Busy is the person who introduced me to Sophie and who brought Sophie here today. So thank you so much, Busy. So glad that you are here joining us for Sophie today. I think I saw Molly in the house also. Linda coming in from Massachusetts, Julie in Ontario, Hoda in British Columbia, Deli in Maryland. Ariana, thanks for running tech for us today. Fred in Maryland, Aloysius in Mass, Diane in Mass, Anne in Maryland, Nancy in Washington State, Louise in Devon, UK, Anna coming in from Boston, program manager of the Daily Antidote of Song, and thanks also for helping out on tech today. Jenny in Suffolk, UK, Sarah in Texas, Jane in Maryland, Kat in Vermont, Carol in Connecticut. There's my mom in New Jersey. Hi, Mom. Curly Tops in Vermont, Storm in Massachusetts, and Jamie coming in from Victoria, British Columbia. Thanks again, everybody, so much. See you all tomorrow right here on the Daily